Okay, so first, let's look at the chords. It's A minor 7, and then it's a 2/5. It's B minor with a 9 on top. I did with a little using the 9 and bring that down to the root and back up. And then the next chord is E sharp 9, flat 13. So but what we're doing here, just so you know, that's the full, a full, like if you're doing a big kind of voicing like this, but we're doing is focusing on the top notes of those chords. So just a little A minor triad, and then when it goes up to the B, starting on that 9, bring it down to the root, and then back up. And then for the E, which is that kind of sound, we're just doing these fourths, just the fourths on the top of the chord. And a lot of times, when you're creating these type of parts on a song, you don't need to play these kind of big voicing. There are other instruments that are taking that up, whether it's a keyboard or organ or some other harmony that's going on within the song, that you can play these smaller voicings, and they'll speak better. Within the context of having a guitar part that's fitting with a song. So now we'll add the wah element to it, and what's happening with the wah is it's creating the movement of that chord on the A minor. And what I did there was just keeping eighth notes. So once again, you have that element of having to keep time all the time, because that quarter note is going by, and what you have to do with your foot controlling the wah is playing some even eighth notes. Da 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 against this 2, 3, 4. So you can find a spot of what works with your foot. I mean, that's where your personal expression comes in, whether you're all the way back or tight. Yeah. Or even tighter. So you find a spot in there that feels good for you. It could be big, smaller, even smaller. So, and then when it's going up to the B minor, so that's a slow envelope. The rhythm is just this. Beat up with the swell in it. And then again another swell, just with constant strum on the fourths for the. That's all I'm doing with the wah. So here it is all together. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the A section of the tune. And then there's a change when it goes to the 4 chord. And in this case, it's a D7. And it's got a little line in there. Basically, you're following the bass line. And it's like, goes like this. So starts on a D, goes up to this C, then this B, and A flat, or G sharp, and up to A. And what I was doing with that was, letting the wah envelope. And in between that phrase, you can, that's where you have a little bit of room there to add another little something that your own personal flavor in. And I think I threw a unison bend in there, and with the wah, those are really cool. That's it on its own. With the wah, you can really get a kind of a shouting like wow. Slow. A quick one. So you see, it's a voice. You're expressing your a voice with the wah. I was just trying to notice. I think I changed the fingering a couple times. For me, that's feeling comfortable. And then a little shift to second finger. Anyhow, those are the notes. You find a fingering that's going to feel right for you. Because even the pinky there works great. You have a lot of options with fingers when you're playing guitar. So, find a fingering that works for you on that. And so this track's got a few different things in there, and also when it gets to the B part, I didn't play it in this example, but you can try it. Just try a little vamp on the dominant 7 chord, and you can incorporate one of the rhythms from one of the other tracks just on the when it gets to the change there. So the idea is that you will begin to create your own voice with the wah-wah, and I'm giving you some different ideas that you can pull from to begin to use to express your own voice. So one other element that's in this track to take note of is a percussive little fill that I do there. Because you got, there's a lot of tonal variations in here. And sometimes with the wah, or just in general, you may just do a fill. I'm sure many of you done it. Where you slide down or you slide up to something, and this is coming from that same place. And in this instance, we're also incorporating the wah, and it's a rhythm that That last articulation is a slide down, and the beat just before you hit the slide, they're two 30-second notes, I guess. So if you're like here and you think like a 16th going to the beat, it would be this. But you're going to do a 30-second, so instead of, you can do this. Okay, so that's what it is. And with the wah, you have, this is the sound. See? And depending on the tempo of the song, because it's still all about staying in the groove, is finding that beat, 2, 3. Okay? And the wah is hitting that downbeat and pulling off. So that's what that little, you're going to hear that go by and you might say, wow, what's that? How'd you do that? It could be low. Again, it's another element of you finding your own personal voice with it. So it's not like, oh, that's the technique and I'm doing it exactly the same every time. No, it's not that. It's just a feeling. A bunch in a row. One of the players to check out, Wawa Watson is the king of it. I mean, and there'll be some examples and some links, to some of the guitars that I think were great with wah, and you're going to hear those things. So now you'll know that that's what it is. It's just it's a chicken scratch part with the wah, and find your voice with that one, and have some fun with it.